Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the Midday News on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu has reassured that his administration would continue to put in place policies aimed at industrializing Nigeria. A statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, says Tinubu disclosed this when he received a delegation of the African Association of Automotive Manufacturers and the Nigerian Automotive Manufacturers Association. The president, represented by his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, met the members led by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoka Anite, in Abuja. President Tinubu urged the associations to look into producing vehicles that would be affordable for all categories of Nigerians as government rolls out consumer credits for millions of citizens to purchase vehicles and other essential goods and services. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has commended Second Lieutenant Oluchukwu Owowo for emerging as the first Nigerian female cadet to graduate from the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, in the United Kingdom. The president's wife, who received the award, led by Major General John Ochia, the commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, to the State House, described her achievement as outstanding and divine. He also commended the Nigerian Army for giving a female the chance to excel, encouraging the nation's youth to emulate Owowo's resilience and cautioned them to desist from being destructive, lousy, and problematic. The National Examinations Council, NECO, says it has digitized the recruitment process for examination supervisors and assistant supervisors for the Basic Education Certificate Examination and the Senior School Certificate Examination, SSCE, both internal and external. The digitization seeks to check sharp practices in the recruitment process, as well as to enhance efficiency and effective service delivery. The digitization process, which involves migration from the manual recruitment of supervisors and assistant supervisors to online system, would ensure that supervisors' nomination forms, appointment letters, and supervisor e-photo albums are generated online. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Adejoke Orelope Adefulire, has called for considerable attention to the welfare and development of senior citizens across the country. He made this appeal during a strategic partnership meeting with a delegation from the National Senior Citizen Center led by the Director General Omokaro. Orelope Adefulire, the call for greater attention to senior citizens comes amid growing concerns over issues such as access to healthcare, social inclusion, and economic support for the elderly, which have been exacerbated by various socioeconomic factors. In a bid to achieve the zero malaria target in Nigeria, the federal government has emphasized the need to move from idealism to pragmatism. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Ali Pati, stated this at the Ministerial Roundtable meeting on rethinking malaria elimination in Nigeria held in Abuja. The meeting was aimed at providing stakeholders the opportunity to access the current malaria situation in Nigeria, evaluate the effectiveness of the existing tools in addressing the malaria scourge, and factors facilitating or mitigating the process towards the elimination of malaria in Nigeria. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry set up by the Kano State government to investigate causes of political violence and missing persons from 2015 to 2023 has solicited the assistance of the media in achieving its mandate. Chairman of the panel, Zuwaira Yusuf, made the appeal while delivering her speech at the inaugural sitting of the commission in Kano. Justice Yusuf told journalists to report the activities of the commission with utmost professionalism by being fair and factual on its proceedings. Adamawa state government has closed down public and private schools following the outbreak of measles in the state. The closure notice was contained in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Human Capital Development, Aisha Umar in Yola. Mrs. Umar said the closure was to mitigate the spread of the disease and to enable the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency to vaccinate the vulnerable age group. The ministry therefore announced Monday, May 13, 2024, as a new resumption date for the school. To support the expansion of Nigeria's pharmaceutical sector, the federal government has reaffirmed its intention to implement the 5+5 regulatory scheme, which grants a last 5-year renewal to a company that imports medications that the country's pharmaceutical industry is capable of producing. During the 5-year renewal period, the importer must migrate to local manufacturing or partner with local manufacturers. This is an outcome of a study that was done in 2019 that revealed that the top 5 drugs that are imported are also the top 5 drugs that are manufactured here in Nigeria. The federal government has disclosed that it will flush out persons in public and private organizations working with fake certificates. Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, disclosed this when he received the report of an inter-ministerial investigative committee on degree certificate miling from the chairman of the committee, Professor Jubrila Amin. Mamman, who expressed sadness over what was uncovered during the investigations, said the ministry would work with relevant agencies to sanitize the education sector and take decisive actions to ensure standards are enshrined in the system. The coalition of Niger Delta ex-agitators for good governance has countered the appointment of the Administrator Presidential Amnesty Program, Dennis Otuari. At a World Press briefing in Abuja, the group said the announcement was not in favor of Ijaw Nation and Niger Delta at large. Samuel Odi has details.
The appointment of Administrator Presidential Amnesty Program Dennis Otuari has created a lot of controversy among various groups in the Niger Delta region. The group says the administrator appointment is detrimental to the Ijaw Nation as well as the Niger Delta region.
His appointment is not in the interest of the entire Ijaw Nation and Niger Delta at large due to the following reasons. Number one, his appointment was influenced by an avaricious interest who subverted the struggle as his personal entity at the detriment of the entire Ijaw Nation and Niger Delta at large. Two, the Ijaw Nation is currently enslaved as a result of one personal desperate attempt to seize everything for himself.
The group therefore appealed to the federal government to intervene and ensure that one man's political intrigues does not dominate the entire Niger Delta region. Samuel Odi, reporting for Global Television.
You're watching Midday News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the Midday News returns, FG to ban Naira from crypto trading platforms. This and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just joined us, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the midday news. On the foreign scene, Britain's ruling Conservatives braced for further losses in local elections, their worst results in recent memory, and a key test before general election to be held by January. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's party lost nearly 500 councillors and control of 12 councils, as well as a parliamentary seat after voting Thursday across a swathe of England saw the Labour opposition make huge gains. The beleaguered Tory leader faces more likely defeats when results of crunch mayoral races in London, Liverpool and Manchester are announced Saturday, but is hoping to retain the West Midlands. Israel's military has called for the evacuation of Palestinians from eastern Rafah ahead of a ground invasion of the city. This is as Gaza aid officials said Israeli jets struck two areas where the warning had been issued. The evacuation call followed intensified disagreement between Israel and Hamas over the Islamist group's demands to end the 7-month war during weekend talks in Cairo. Consultations between two other mediators, the United States and Qatar, were expected on Monday in Doha, but state-linked media in Egypt said negotiations had stalled after a rocket strike killed 4 Israeli soldiers on Sunday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to send ground troops in against Hamas fighters in Rafah, regardless of any truce and despite concerns from the United States, other countries, and aid groups. Now, in business, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, says the trade relations between Nigeria and the United Kingdom have reached £7 billion. Speaking in Abuja, Montgomery announced that the two nations have signed a new agreement on enhanced trade and partnership investment. The agreement aims to boost cooperation in key sectors such as agriculture, creative industries, legal services, financial services, and education. The federal government, through the Securities and Exchange Commission, is set to delist the Naira from all peer-to-peer crypto platforms as the government steps up efforts to tackle exchange rate manipulators and dollar racketeers. The development came against the backdrop of the recent moves by the federal government to regulate Nigeria's crypto market, estimated at $57 billion. The newly appointed Director General of the Commission, Emomotimi Agama, disclosed this government's latest plan during a meeting with members of the Nigerian blockchain industry. Agama confirmed that the government was currently drafting a new set of regulations to govern the crypto sector. Operators in the crypto space have allegedly used the P2P platforms to manipulate the Naira in exchange rate. In pursuit of securing a new $750 million loan from the World Bank, the federal government may reintroduce previously suspended telecom tax and other fiscal measures. This is according to the Stakeholder Engagement Plan for Nigeria Accelerating Resource Mobilization Reforms Program between Nigeria and the World Bank. The government might reintroduce the excises on telecom services and levy on electronic money transfers through the Nigerian banking system, among other taxes. President Bola Tinubu in July 2023 ordered the suspension of the 5% excise duty on telecommunications and the import tax adjustment levy on certain vehicles. However, it appears that this suspension may be lifted to meet the program target for a new, yet-to-be-approved World Bank loan, with negotiations ongoing between government and the World Bank. The federal government, through the Corporate Affairs Commission, has issued a 2-month registration deadline to point-of-sales companies to register their agents, merchants, and individuals with the Commission in line with legal requirements and the directives of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The agreement was reached during a meeting between fintechs and the Registrar General, CAC, Hussaini Ishaq Magaji in Abuja. According to the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, there are over 1.9 million POS terminals deployed by merchants and individuals nationwide. Speaking at the meeting, the CAC boss says the measure aims at safeguarding the businesses of fintech's customers and strengthening the economy. Experts have called on the federal government to implement policies that would encourage investment in the country's technology ecosystem. They stated this at the third edition of the TMT Business Law Breakfast Series 2024, organized by Dwale Ovia and Alex Adedipe in Lagos recently. The managing partner of Dwale Ovia and Alex Adedipe, Adeni Dwale, noted that investment policies and trade will determine how well tech thrives in the country. According to Alex Adedipe, Nigeria's ecosystem is doing a great job in attracting global investments, adding that Nigerian founded tech companies raised more than $2 billion in 2023. He said Nigeria needed good investment and policies to be able to harness its potential. Pension fund assets have witnessed a decline in March this year due to exchange rate pressures. The net asset value of the fund dropped to 19.669 trillion naira from 19.759 trillion naira recorded in the previous net asset value, falling by 90 billion naira. This was shown in the National Pension Commission (PENCOM) unaudited report on pension funds industry portfolio for the period ended 31st March, released on April 23. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission says the international oil companies have proposed 26 oil blocks to be divested to indigenous companies with 8.211 million barrels of oil reserves. The Commission's chief executive, Gbenga Komolafe, said this at the industry dialogue on IOC's divestment of oil and gas assets in Abuja. The NUPRC said it had also engaged two leading global oil and gas decommissioning consultants to carry out due diligence on the proposed 26 oil blocks to be divested. In sport, the Universal Boxing Organization has conferred the prestigious title of Boxer of the Month for April 2024 upon Nigerian boxing sensation Rashid Idowu, following his remarkable victory in a highly controversial bout in Accra, Ghana. In an official statement addressed to the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, General Secretary Remi Aboderin, UBO Vice President David Meisner lauded Idowu's exceptional performance against his Ghanaian opponent, Basti Samir, ultimately resulting in a second round knockout. Chelsea's bid to secure European football for next season has received a major boost following Manchester United's disastrous 4-0 defeat to Crystal Palace. The Eagles' rampant performance at Selhurst Park extended their unbeaten streak to 5 games and dealt a significant blow to United's Europa League aspirations. The writing was on the wall early for Eric Ten Hag's side as Michael Olise broke the deadlock inside the opening quarter of an hour. 2 more Nigerian relay teams, the men's and women's 4x100-meter squads, have secured automatic qualification for the Paris Olympics after making the best use of their second chances at the just concluded World Relays in Nassau, Bahamas. The women's 4x100-meter team, led by Nigeria's 200-meter indoor and outdoor record holder, Favour Ofili, secured their passage to Paris first. The quarter of Justina Eyakbobean Ofili, Olayinka Olajide, and Tima Godbless displayed impressive teamwork, coming to victory in a time of 42.71 seconds, booking their spot in the 2024 Olympics. Ofili blazed through the second leg, putting Nigeria in a strong position with reigning National Sports Festival double sprint champion Tima Godbless anchoring the team home in first place ahead of Switzerland, who claimed the second automatic ticket in the third qualifying field. That's it on the midday news, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.